Hey, what's up, guys? It's me, Eddie, and I'm back with another show review. Today we're reviewing Azur Lane, Slow Ahead. Azur Lane. I'm pretty sure a lot of you have heard about it before. A cute game full of ship girl waifus and badass warships. Mostly the former, but you get the idea. So, of course, I decided to watch Azur Lane Slow Ahead. I play the game after all, and I really like the ship girls. Alright, I gotta admit, I was a little wary of the whole ordeal because, y'all remember the last Azur Lane anime, right? The last Azur Lane anime of the old wasn't done too well. The OP and the ED, the soundtrack in general was amazing. Heck, the OP is probably one of the best OPs I've ever heard in anime, period. One of the best. It's one of the best. It's one of the best OPs I've heard. I just remember being super hyped as I listened to that OP each time a new episode aired. I'd watch it and I was just super hyped, you know? That OP, it just has that energy. It's got that energy. It's got that hype to it. That's good. I like it. But at the same time, I kind of feel like the anime was a little too restricted. They couldn't quite seem to decide on whether they were telling a tale of good versus evil. Which they obviously weren't because it's Azur Lane. And I think it's really interesting how Azur Lane manages to, because it's World War II. You're basically, the Allies are basically fighting against, one of the worst, a coalition of, the worst countries to ever exist. And they still managed to pull it off. With Azur Lane, the anime, they just couldn't quite pull it off, honestly, because in game form it's easy to do, especially with the whole Sirens ordeal, but in anime form it's a lot harder to forgive all that immediately, you know? Plus the animation studio as so much admitted that, they straight up admitted, yeah, we didn't really try in this show. We didn't try at all. We don't care what happens to it. So I thought that was kind of sad. I think maybe it has something to do with the right-wing policies of said government. Just a theory. Well, I'm not here to critique the Japanese government or give a review on the original Azur Lane anime, though. Slow Ahead, while not as ambitious of a project as the original anime, does the job very well. And honestly, I would say it outdoes it in pretty much, it outdoes the original anime. It has good representations of all factions, something the original anime desperately needed. And while it lacks a true story focus, just like the old anime, unlike the old anime, which is, a continuous story, this is just a slice of life story. It doesn't need a continuous idea. And while there was no story direction to a Slow Ahead, none of the, they were only nominally connected, that doesn't matter. It doesn't matter that they're not, because it's a slice of life show. It was enjoyable and heartwarming. Isn't that's really all that is expected out of such a show. The anime doesn't this show doesn't beat around the bush, okay? It's a silly, heartwarming slice of life anime about your favorite ship girls. There's no reinterpretations, nothing like that. It's just a regular slice of life anime with, Azur Lane ship girls. I think part of the reason people did say that this is because there's an original manga to go with it. So it's already kind of has been pre-written. And since that's the case, I do admit the guys who animated this did have it much easier than the original anime, but still that's no excuse to not try on the old show, you know? But yeah, that's what I really liked about it. The girls in the show are faithful to their original counterparts, in the game. You have Z23, who's very orderly and a rule follower. You have Laffy, who is always falling asleep. You have Javelin, who's a bit of a romantic. And you have Ayanami, who's a gamer. Well, actually, I gotta admit, Ayanami being a gamer, I don't think that's actually part of the original game. At least I don't think so. So what? Okay, I admit there were a slight reinterpretation there, but they did it really well. And honestly, that makes Ayanami even better. And there are also a lot of side characters, too. Mostly appearing as, the main pieces in every, with some certain episodes. We have Baltimore, the athletic one, the greedy Akashi, the shy Graspy, the absolute wife, warm Dunkirk, the yandere Taiho, the charismatic but withdrawn Bismarck, and and Formidable, who just wants to let loose, but no, she's got to be a lady and all. And that's just some of the characters we see throughout the season or show. I don't know. I don't know if there's gonna be a Slow Ahead season 2. Maybe there is. Maybe there isn't. But you get what I mean. Like, all the characters in the game felt real. None of it was forced. None of it felt fake. All these girls do seem like the actual original girls you would see in the game. And that's what I really liked about it. I also gotta say, the fan service in this show felt a lot out of place than in the original. Because that's the thing with the original. It felt like they kind of like, the creators of the series kind of wanted to do a slice of life show, kind of like this one, but was just kept getting forced to go back to the action because they had to move the story forward. That's kind of what it felt like. They wasted a bit too much time in like the whole slice of life element in the original anime. Not so much with this one. Well, first off, all the factions are together, so you don't risk losing some of these guys. You can't, there's no like, do I choose to represent the Crimson Axis more, or do I choose to represent the Azur Lane more? There's none of that. They're all together, so you don't have that issue, first off. Second off, it's literally a slice of life, so, you know. Okay, and by the way, I'm not saying that slice of life anime, or you can't put in like fan service or have a slice of lifestyle detour in action animes or action stories in general. Like, you see Evangelion, that has a lot of parts in the show where they're not exactly, you know, fighting, they're just living in, like, you know, just being ordinary people. You have that. But that's part of the reason is because Evangelion is long, okay? It's really long. Anyhow, all that aside, really, this is a pretty good slice of life show. I mean, it's only that's reinforced by the fact that it's only 8 minutes long. So, watching it, I mean, sure, the art style is anime, but like, it's got a lot more in common with, like, you know, just your typical Western cartoon than it actually does with you know, what you traditionally consider an anime. Very story deep and, you know, very lots of like complexities around. I suppose the short episodes also work to my advantage, because like my personal advantage, because as much as everyone jokes about, say, like the likes of Attack on Titan being like feeling like 5 minutes long, despite the fact that they're closer to 20, or despite the fact that they're closer to 20 minutes long, everyone complains about how like Attack on Titan episodes feel like 5 minutes long. As for this anime though, not like it figuratively and literally. Well, maybe not literally, but like it figuratively and practically goes by in the blink of an eye. So despite the fact that it airs on Mondays, you know, and there's a lot of work on Mondays, I'm still able to watch the show because it's only 8 minutes long. It's not that long. But yeah, as for the episodes themselves, they were pretty. The episodes were pretty simple, with simple OSTs to match. Not much of an OP, which, I mean, okay, I'm fine with that. And for some reason they have 2 EDs. They alternate between the 2 EDs every single episode. I mean, hey, like twice the cuteness. I'm not complaining there. So yeah. Overall, it was a very cute and wholesome anime about the ship girls. I mean, what's not to love? I wouldn't consider like a masterpiece or anything like that, but the show was reasonably enjoyable and it was adequate. I mean, like, in terms of a good slice of life show, I personally did prefer Cells at Work Season 2. I mean, like, even then, like, that doesn't take away from the fact that I really enjoyed this show. It was a good show, and, like, that's all there is to it. It didn't take itself too seriously, and it was rather cute. The girls, you know, just doing their cute and occasionally lewd shenanigans. I liked it, and that's really all there is. But yeah, that's really just my opinion on the show. Like, I wouldn't consider it a masterpiece, but like, it was a pretty decent show. I enjoyed it, and I really liked it. That's really all I have to say for this show. Maybe you guys thought differently. I don't know. Like, did you see any other shows this season? Well, what did you think of this show overall? Comment that down in the videos below, or in the comment sections below. And if you haven't, subscribe to my channel. Give this video a like if you haven't done so already, because if you don't, the Azur Lane ship girls will come over and they will blast you. That's right. You don't want to get blasted, do you? So anyways, that's all there is for this video, folks. Short episode, but you know, it was a relatively short. It was a relatively short show. So anyways, that's all there is for this video, folks. The sky's up. and you guys are awesome. I'll see you all in the next review. Bye.